Okay, so let's begin. I think we have enough people on the room. So welcome everyone. Thank you for being here and thank you for attending our webinar called Supercharge Your Zendesk Suite with Agentic AI. My name is Ivan. I'm an account executive at Zendesk and I'm here with Thomas Iñiguez from Witbor. Witbor is a premier partner and implementation partner, therefore product experts. I invited them so that we can make the most out of this session and we can address any questions that you have regarding implementation or what we're going to discuss in general. So just to set up the agenda for this call, first I'm going to show you a few slides that talk about mainly AI in Zendesk. Then we're going to review the demo, and at the end, we're going to have a Q&A. So please, during the presentation, feel free to ask any questions on the chat. We're going to review them at the end of the call and make sure to address them all. So thank you so much for being here and welcome. Let's begin. So first of all, before even start to talk about individual products, we're going to address two of them, Zendesk AI Agents and Zendesk Copilot. But before I get into the details, I'd like to highlight why AI is important now more than ever and how quickly the customer support experience is changing in our recent days. So it is no secret that AI is driving a new era of change in customer expectations, where customer needs to feel more connected to the companies that they engage with. They expect faster and more profound conversations than with any other previous technology shift. So traditional channels, just like phone calls, emails, or even live chat, are not enough anymore, since customers' expectations continue to rise and at the same time ticket volume continue to rise. It's difficult for companies to keep track of everything that's going on and to provide their agents with the right tools to be more efficient at their daily operations, but at the same time to try to automate all of those questions that may not need a human intervention whatsoever. So please keep in mind that everything that we're going to discuss, it's not just about decreasing ticket volume, it's about empowering your agents to be more efficient, but also to make the most out of your current tech stack, your current solution, and about your current information that's already available in your business. So by leveraging all of that, we combine a deeply integrated AI solution so that your team can be more efficient, reach out to more customers, and at the same time, keep customers happy. So that's why I'm very excited to present the Zendesk Resolution Platform that is AI built exclusively for customer support. It's not about replacing humans, but empowering them and providing with the right tools so that they can be more efficient and excel at their jobs. And at the same time, automating a lot of the questions that you receive so that your agents can really focus on what's important. And we can automate a lot of those questions that may not need this human intervention, like I mentioned. So meet our next generation of AI agents. These are built to understand, to reason, and to resolve even the most sophisticated customers' issues on any channel across all of your channels. So from the most common use case that is chat, all the way to traditional channels, so like emails, regardless of the channel your customers choose to speak and to reach out to you from, we're going to be able to automate those interactions. So our next generation of AI agents is powered by Agentic AI. So these are resolution-first oriented AI agents that can really resolve issues autonomously without any scripting or training needed whatsoever. They remain completely dynamic while still following your business processes to ensure a full resolution every time. How do we achieve this? So, well, we are going to connect our AI agent to your tech stack, whether it's your CRM, your payment processes platform, whatever the case may be. We're going to connect through APIs to all of those systems to retrieve real-time customer information and provide an accurate resolution to every question. So since we are leveraging your current tech stack, but also the information that you already have available in your Zendesk account, we're aiming to achieve up to an 80% automation rate, I'm sorry. So this is a lot of questions that we can automate while maintaining a good standard of quality service and keeping your customers happy and returning for more. So this is all about customer retention, but also automation of any questions that we can automate through AI. So this slide is mainly to talk about the differentiators between our AI agents and the competitions. But before I get into any of that, I'd like you to pay close attention to the first sentence on this slide. It says, why 10,000 customers turn to Zendesk AI for agents? So before even talking about the differentiators, I want to address why these 10,000 customers are very important. So Zendesk has been around for over 15 years. And over that span, right now we have more than 100,000 customers. But if we put in consideration that over the last year where we launched AI agents, at least 10% of our entire customer base has already adopted this technology, it tells you how important and how impactful it has been for companies across all industries and from all segments. So it doesn't really matter if you're an enterprise company or a smaller business, this AI solution really helps you automate at least 80% of your questions. So speaking about the differentiators themselves, AI agents are powered by the most advanced agentic AI for service. Our AI agents are service goal-oriented. Other bots are task-based and can only perform a single action at a time. So either it's look for an answer or run a return. So this means that if the customer breaks the conversation, the bot cannot extend beyond the task at hand. That doesn't happen with our AI agents. Our solution can problem solve and make decision live in the conversation. That freedom of agency to spring off of what the customer is saying and run the conversation independently, always in a natural and human-like way, all the way to a resolution is the cornerstone of our AI agents. Second, they have agency, but you always remain in control. Our AI agents combine the most power advanced generative AI on the market with the precision of conversation flows, giving you complete control of how much autonomy they have. They can act independently and adapt to live conversations, yet you can always take back the wheel and script them to follow your exact business processes. That means no hallucinations, no off-brand responses, and for heavily regulated industries just like healthcare, insurance, or finance, you can always ensure to stay within the compliance standards. Third, our AI deploys easily and scales rapidly. With just 3 clicks, you're set up for success with an AI that is up and running, and you have just built your first AI agent. No training needed, no coding needed. And like everything we do at Zendesk, getting more advanced is super easy. Adding workflows, integrations to third-party systems, or creating a seamless handoff to a human can all be done within hours, not weeks. Which is why our AI agents can get up to 80% in mere days instead of weeks or months with other solutions. We built a product that is meant for service teams, not for the IT team, not for developers team. It's meant for you to own it, to make it your own, and to customize it, and most importantly, to understand what you have built. And finally, and I must say most importantly, our AI agents are natively built directly into Zendesk. That means you get the full power of the Zendesk resolution platform, from the knowledge base that you have already built through the 360 customer view, all the way down to ticketing. It's the complete solution, and there's no piecing together multiple tools or data sources. Everything is tightly integrated, delivering seamless end-to-end solution for your entire support operation. Now let's talk about the pricing structure. I want to really emphasize on this because it's really different from what you are currently paying in Zendesk. So you're very used to the per user model, but this is a resolution model. So there's a big difference between AI agents that respond and AI agents that resolve. Most AI agents out there are optimizing for activity or tracking conversations. Zendesk is optimizing and tracking for real, measurable outcomes. So we don't just promise a resolution. We define it and we prove it. The way that we price for AI agents advanced is a per resolution model, as I mentioned. So we call them automated resolutions. And that means when the customer is having a full-blown conversation with the AI is pulling information from multiple data sources to provide an accurate response, and the customer was satisfied with the response they received, that is counted as a resolution. So Zendesk applies the strictest definition of an automatic resolution across all industries. A real service conversation successfully handled by AI without any human intervention needed whatsoever. Others charge for interactions or for conversations, but they don't measure real outcomes. On top of that, we also apply two layers of accountability. First, deterministic checks confirm that it was a genuine customer inquiry, not just small talk, and that the conversation ended with a complete helpful outcome. Then, AI validation ensures the resolution meets quality standards before it's even counted or billed. To summarize all this and to make it simple, at Zendesk, it's very easy to understand. If we don't deliver a real successful resolution, you don't pay, and you shouldn't pay in any other solution. So far we have discussed how AI agents can deflect and to resolve situations without any human intervention whatsoever. But still, like I mentioned during the beginning of the call, AI is not meant for replacing humans. It's meant for empowering us and making sure we make the most out of what we currently have at hand. So for those tickets that were created that AI didn't solve and where we actually need human intervention, we have Zendesk Copilot. So it is the only proactive AI assistant purpose-built for customer and employee service. Copilot is fully embedded into the Zendesk workspace, where agents work, where admins optimize, and it's grounded in your policies, knowledge, and your customers and employee context. Whether it's helping an agent draft the perfect reply, taking action on behalf of them, or recommending admins their next steps, Copilot knows what matters and takes action. Delivering 3x productivity gains across all teams, Copilot is helping teams work smarter, resolve issues faster, and focus on high-value tasks. With Copilot, you can drive real outcomes, which is the goal of any new solution that we're going to implement to your Zendesk account. You can unlock your business insights by first understanding what your customers are asking about, how they feel, and what details matter most, all before an agent even takes over. Copilot surfaces critical insights that directly inform which issues to prioritize, where agents need the most support, and what areas require workflows improvements. Plus, with pre-built dashboards available from day one, you gain full visibility into what's important, but also into what's not. Next, assist your agents with AI-powered support to resolve issues faster and, most importantly, in a consistent manner. Meaning, if you can increase productivity without expanding headcount and reducing onboarding time as well. Finally, optimize your service workflows by automating repetitive tasks and routing tickets more efficiently. With Copilot, you get proactive recommendations and tools to continuously improve your workflows and automate what matters most. It's about keeping operations scalable without increasing complexity. So now, let's see in action everything that I have discussed so far. Thomas is going to be leading this demonstration. First, he's going to show the customer experience on how they are going to engage with our AI agent. Then he's going to show Copilot for you to see how efficient this AI is in solving tickets faster and making the most out of the information that's already in your account. And then we're going to take a look at how you configure it. So Thomas, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Ivan. Hello, everyone. Before I go any further, I want to remind everyone that we have now a Q&A section. So if any questions comes up during the demo or right now, you can ask away and we will answer them at the end of the session. So let's begin with the demo. We'll go into our knowledge base or help center where we have all the different information, articles, and where our AI bot is located. As you can see as well, right now, I'm a login user. So when I start a conversation with the bot, it will promptly say hello to me and already knows who I am. So this is how we already have the AI agent embedded with Zendesk, and they know who the customer is, what type of customer they are, and the information with also your backends and your own systems. So let's say Thomas is wondering about a new computer he needs. So he's gonna say, hello, I was looking into getting a new computer. but I'm a little lost. So now what the agent will do is it will look through information through a knowledge base and our systems. I will see the best way in which it can help Thomas search for the best computer for his needs. So says, Thomas, before choosing any new computer, there are some helpful steps that we can use, like defining the menu. So is it for work? Is it for gaming? Are we looking for portability? Is it a laptop, more of a desktop? Are there any special considerations about specs? And if we are on a budget or not. So now it's asking for more details, and we're gonna go and say, I was looking more for laptop since I need to move a lot, and that will also help me with my work. So now giving more details to the AI agent, it's able to reason and to look for the best, in this case, computers or laptops that will help us with our work. So it found two of the options here, the Dell XPS, and it also gives us more information about it, and the SS Spire, which we can say, for example, since we also want to showcase how conversational the bot can be, I can just say, do you have more information on the first one? So we are no longer bounded by buttons or having to type the exact name of the item we're looking for. We can just indicate the agent as any other regular human person. Hey, I want this one, I want that one, I'm more into the second option, third option, and the AI is able to process that information and give us the feedback or the answer that we're looking for. So as you can see, I asked for more information about, I just said the first one, and he detected it was a Dell laptop, and he gave me all the information. Now we will see how it's doing all of this and where the information is stored, but mainly, as I mentioned previously, it's by using your knowledge base as the main source of information, but also with the data of maybe your backend, of your other systems. But now let's say that Thomas made a purchase some time ago and wants to know what happened to it or if it's arriving. We don't have any update on it. So now we're going to switch and say, I also or an Apple Mac some time ago, but haven't gotten any updates on the status. So now we're seamlessly switching between asking a few questions to asking, okay, where's the status of my order? Where's the Apple Mac that I ordered some time ago? So now it's doing like a two-step verification. Even though it has my data from before, it's asking me if I to confirm that information. So I'm gonna say yes, it's. And as you can see now, I can use free vocabulary, so to speak. I don't need to say my email and that's just it. I can just add more information to the message and the AI will understand that the only piece of information that it needs or the most important data that it needs to grab is the email. And now it will also ask me for my order number. So let's just say it's or is the order number 4. And again, it's gonna go to my backend, it's gonna look for my orders, and it's gonna search for the details of the order. So it found it and it says it's currently being processed. It should be the delivery. And it gave me also a tracking number so I can know, so I can track it with Correo Argentino and estimated delivery date. So is there anything else that you can help me with? Let's just say no. Thank you so much. So this is how the AI can solve an issue without the need of another human, without the need for the user to wait for that response, and maybe being a day or 2 days with no answer about the order. Now we'll go to a second use case, and this is where we will see also Copilot being used in action. So let's just say we have a new use case, a new issue, and we're gonna say I need a refund for the laptop I got some time ago. So now we have a real problem. Our laptop is not working properly, has been damaged, and we're asking for a refund. The AI is able to understand that, and it's asking me for an order number to know which order or which purchase I'm talking about. So we'll go again and say, is the order number 9. And it's going to tell me that it includes 2 products, the order. So are we talking about the Dell? Are we talking about the HP all-in-one? It also tells me the prices that I paid. So it's asking, okay, which item do you like the refund for? And if it has been open or not, or if it has been used. We're going to say I need it for the Dell. It's not what I expected. And since I didn't answer the previous question of if I had used it or if I had opened the package before, it again implies, okay, I understand you're having an issue with the Dell and it's not what you were hoping for. Can you let me know again if you open it or if you use it? You say, yes, I have used it a little bit. So it's not like old workflows where once we move to the next step, it's not able to ask again or trace steps back. Now, if we are not answering the questions, it will ask again. And now it has created a ticket for us. So let's go into our Zendesk. Now, we all know how Zendesk works, what it does, but we now are going to see a few little differences with our Copilot. So first and foremost, we want to notice that we no longer have somewhere to write or to type in. And at the same time, we're seeing new intents, sentiments, and a ticket summary. So these are all of part of Copilot that Ivan has talked about. And what do these represent? So intents are the Zendesk pre-trained models for AI for Copilot in this case. This is separate from our agents. And we have different models, be it for software, e-commerce, medicine, tourism. And depending on the one that best fits you, we'll give you with Copilot an intent for AI. Which this means basically is it automatically detects the issue of the whole ticket. So what's the reason for the ticket? At the moment, we can say that the user is asking for a refund. And how is the user feeling? Is he neutral? Is he happy? Is he angry? This all can be used later for triggers or automations. So depending if your agents have more knowledge with angry customers or happy customers, we can assign them to those types of customer, or we can increase the priority, make it urgent if the customer is angry. And as we're seeing with the bot, and I'm sure you all have experienced, sometimes the conversation goes on and on and on with the bot, and we have to read everything from the beginning to understand what's going on. Copilot helps us summarize that with our ticket summary. So I can just go over here. I'll see that the customer has requested a refund. We can see what the item they asked the refund about because it wasn't what they expected. The agent collected the order number and confirmed that it has been used. We have also created a ticket for assistance, but well, unfortunately I was offline at the time. No agents were available at the moment. And as I mentioned before, we no longer have that box where we can just type or write. Now we have our auto assist, our copilot, which has already pre-filled the information for us. And as an agent, I can just hit approve, and it will send the whole message for me, similar as if it were creating a macro. And we're also seeing that the item, the DEL, is being highlighted in our tickets. That's because for the ticket, we have a form of returns and exchanges, also meant for refunds. And between the fields that we're using, we have a products field where we have all our different products specified. But since the copilot knows which product we're talking about, it will highlight it and select it for us immediately, which really speeds up when it comes to answering tickets, updating the form, and completing it. Now, if we go to our user side, it says, thank you for sharing. It will share us some information on the return policies, and it's as if it's effective. So let's just say, no, it's not effective. I just used it twice, and the battery is too short. So now we go back to our Zendesk. And again, same as with the AI agent, Copilot is going to analyze the message, it's going to analyze the overall ticket, and it's going to be generating the responses for us. At the same time, our ticket, our summary is going to be refreshed over and over. So we're always up to date with what's going on, if we need to escalate the ticket or we need to modify something. So let's say we're not happy with what the AI agent or Copilot has delivered us. We can go and edit that information. So I don't like this message, we're going to change it. Maybe I want to expand it, I want to simplify it, maybe I want to write it in my own more personal tone. Or let's say here we have a link, I don't want that link there. I can just select it and say, okay, remove the link to the policy. This is basically grabbing control, adding more instructions to the suggestions so that the message is more tailored to what we want. And as you can see, I no longer have the link going back to our return policy. And we also get an action for changing the status to sold. So I don't want that either. So let's try and say, let's edit the message so it says, can you confirm the effective? As you can see, it's not that the AI is fully automatic or overwhelms us. We have full control of what to respond, what's going on, and how we can modify the AI. Lastly, I'll say yes, it's effective, even if it's poorly written. These are not the only functionalities of Copilot. As you can see right now that it has been confirmed, we have several other actions that we'll see now. So if I just approve the message, we also see that Copilot is able to update all of our fields or most of our fields in the form automatically. And as I mentioned, more features of the system are our related tickets. I'm sure it happened before that maybe a user wrote an email, then filled out a form, then communicated with the bot in a very short amount of time and all about the same issue or the same subject. So you end up with duplicated tickets. Copilot is able to understand that, analyze all the tickets of a single user and see if there's any duplication or recommendation for merging them. So you can just go over here and we could merge these two tickets or the three of them into one as well. Sorry about that. Now, how is Copilot able to do all of this? We'll see how Copilot works, and from there we will move on how to AI agents work. So like I mentioned before, this is all generated by Copilot itself with the use of actions. Now, how do we know what is generating and what's generating? If we go to our knowledge base, we'll see a new tab for procedures. This is where you can give instructions to your Copilot and tell them the steps to follow. So if we go to our terms and exchange procedure, you can see that first was greeting the customer, ask for the reason, checking if there's any eligibility to return policy, and what has confirmed. Here's where we can see some actions of updating the form fields and the steps to follow to answer those questions. So this is very similar to training a new agent, a new person, telling them, okay, when you have this problem or this issue or this type of ticket, these are the steps you need to follow to answer them. And I'm sure you have lots of different tickets, and maybe you cannot create 200 procedures or 20 procedures. It also works with your own articles. So it can create its own responses based on the procedures that you establish, plus the information that you have on your articles in your help center. And what about the actions that I mentioned? When it comes to the actions, we can go to the admin center. And here we'll also see a new tab under apps and integrations called actions. These are basically API calls that you can create based on the necessities or on how you need to solve the ticket. So let's say beforehand, with the refund, we got the order number, but we are not sure about the eligibility. We don't know more information about this order. What we do previously or now, we have to go maybe to our own apps or systems and check for the information in that system, and we are leaving the user waiting for a response for an answer. But now we can tell Copilot via API to connect to that system and bring us that information. So here's an example of just the order status. I tell them, look for the code, which is 7-character alphanumeric, and just do a simple API call and give me the items of the order and the status of that order. So that's how we can reply to our customers faster and how we can create the actions for our Copilot. Now let's go into our AI agent. So you will see this new profile or this new module where we can see how our AI agent works and what it can do. Before, other bots or other AI models are based on intents, like we saw with Copilot, that we're looking maybe for a particular problem, or before we were looking for particular phrases or words. In here, that disappears. Let's go, for example, to the order tracking or the order issue. Basically, we give it a name, you're tracking an order, you're looking for an order, and you need to answer to the customer with this particular response when they want to check the status of it. So any word, any phrases that the customer might use that mean, I want to know the status of my order didn't arrive, where is it? We no longer have to guess. By telling the AI what to look for or just giving a general issue, it will know. And now, how do we make these responses? They are made also with procedures, same as we saw with Copilot. So we give the AI agent a step-by-step guide of what to do depending on specific situations or issues, and it will basically generate this tree of decisions for us. So we don't have to program, we don't need to learn how to program. It's simple and really easy to use. You just tell the AI, okay, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, and it will automatically generate the whole process for us to just work. You can tell it, okay, I need you to connect it to this endpoint, to this API, to this system, bring me the email and use it. And simple as that. Now, let's say we want to know, okay, how is it working? How is it doing? You will also have your own analytics for the AI agent, where you can see how many conversations it understood, how many conversations it managed to automate and resolve, and how many it wasn't able to answer and it needed to escalate to another human. Between all of those, how many were because of a use case, so a issue that we established beforehand, or it was based on our knowledge base, or also with a hybrid response. So it was mixing both use cases and knowledge from our articles. We can see its performance week by week, day by day, and also see what's the most common use case, what's the most common issue that our customers are having, and if the agent is able to handle that, most of it, or how many times it had to escalate because it couldn't answer that. That's also insight on what we need to upgrade within or change within the AI agent to answer properly. And lastly, we can also take a look at our conversation logs. So if you want to know exactly what went wrong or what went right, what's going on with between our users and our AI, we can take a look at that. So for example, we have this conversation where we can see, okay, hello, where it was Thomas, and the customer says, okay, I need to return this laptop. So we can see the whole conversation and how it went on. And if you have any sensitive data that you don't want others looking at or having that information available, we can hide those sensitive numbers, be it a name, be it a credit card information, be it a specific code. So you are sure that, so we can secure the security of the agent. And as Ivan mentioned, with automatic resolutions. So we can see here that the session is still in progress, but if I go over here, we can see that the AI agent handled the request. It did give a solution, but it wasn't an automated solution. And we want to know why is because the customer requested for an update or their status, and yet the bug was hanging there. It's left waiting. So it didn't resolve anything, and maybe other types of AIs or other types of bots will charge for that because the user simply abandoned the conversation. But with Zendesk, since no information was given, no solution was given, it's not a resolution. And you can see here when indeed is. So this is a resolution because the bot was able to provide a clear and detailed steps on how to use a promo code during a checkout, which directly addresses the customer request. So this all is a little insight, a little demo on how both copilots and AI agent can help you reach that 80% that Ivan was talking about. So Ivan, if you want to continue.
Awesome. Thanks, Thomas, for that great demo in which we were able to see everything that I discussed, how we can fully empower your agents to be more productive, more efficient by enhancing AI tools and providing everything they need so that they don't have to leave the conversation and just use the information that's already there. But also we saw how we can reach that 80% automation mark. That 80% sounds like a very too good to be true number, but I promise it's the Zendesk promise. So let's take a look at how we're going to achieve that level of automation. So first, like I just mentioned on the previous slides, enabling and creating an AI agent, it's quite simple. It's just a matter of a few clicks, enabling permissions, and you're good to go with your first AI agent. So this base AI agent that you just created with a few clicks is able to retrieve information from your help center, from the resources that are already built in your account. And now that we are using those resources, we can get up to a 20 to 30% automation mark by just using your internal resources. So let's get to the second level. Let's reach 60% automation mark. So Thomas, if you can help me clicking the presentation. So how are we going to achieve a 60% automation mark? Well, with all of the experience and all of the resolutions throughout all of the steps of the process, you have very powerful data and metrics, which you can use to analyze and to identify trends and frequently ask questions, problems that need solving, and problems that the customers are reaching out to you a lot about. So by understanding metrics, by understanding key KPIs that you can solve for your customers, we're going to achieve the 80% automation mark, where we can drive continuous success using all of those customer insights, use cases, and different situations that your customers encounter with, so that we can automate and achieve this 80% promise that we were discussing. So I have one last slide before we start with the Q&A, and I saw some questions on the chat, so thank you so much for making those. I crafted this slide that is basically called Why We Invited You. So just know that this webinar wasn't a massive invitation that we sent to all customers. It was a very targeted audience that we wanted to include in this session. So all of your accounts and all of you who are invited experienced a increase on tickets, and you received over 3,000 tickets in the last 30 days. So for smaller teams, I understand that with this volume of tickets and maybe not having the manpower to have 50, 60 licenses, there's a challenge that we want to avoid your agents feeling overwhelmed. And we want to, at the same time, provide the best experience for your customers, but at the same time, not exploiting or not demanding too much out of your human power. So everything that we have discussed can be separated into two main branches. The first one I called automate, and the second one is empower. So automate is AI agents, where we can provide immediate resolutions to complex situations, decrease ticket volume, and obviously providing a 24/7 support. This AI agent doesn't sleep, doesn't go to the bathroom, so it's ongoing support every time, every day. This will allow you to scale rapidly, as you don't need to hire more people. You don't have to go to this slow onboarding process where you increase the headcount in your support team. That's not needed anymore. And like I said, it's not about replacing your human agent. It's about providing them with tools to focus on what's matter most. So with the first branch of automation, we help your company scale rapidly, reach out to more customers out there. Obviously, you will receive more inquiries, but with the power and the promise of the 80% automation mark, you should be good to go with your current tech stack. For the second portion of it, it's Copilot. So Copilot, it's all about empowering your current agents, be more efficient and excel at their jobs. If you have KPIs that they have to achieve, with Copilot, we help them get there. So it's all about optimizing ticket routing and at the same time decreasing resolution time. For those complex situations where a human needs to get involved, we're using AI, you're using this Copilot assistant, searching for information wherever we can take it from, so that your agents don't have to open a separate tab and they can solve the issue way faster. Also, it's like I said, all about empowering your agents. So it's the best AI assistant out there, and it will help you, yes, make your agents more efficient, like I said, but at the same time, keeping the same level of consistent support. We understand that each agent is an individual and that they may all have a separate way of answering to customers, and that is great. But at the same time, we need to keep the same level of quality in terms of customer support. And this is where Copilot does a great job. By the AI recommendations, all the way to showing important macros that they can use or apply to different situations, we make sure that every situation across all customers is resolved with the same level of quality. All this while leveraging the data that is already available. So what I want to realize is that we're not reinventing the wheel. We're not disregarding what you currently have built in your account. We're using that and we're making the most out of your ticket history, your macros, your resources, your website, your CRM, other solutions, and every piece of your tech stack puzzle. We're using that and making the most out of it with AI. Either it's for automation or for empowering, Zendesk provides a whole solution. And just as a quick conclusion for everything that we have discussed, how does this impact my company? Well, with automation and with empowerment of your agents, we increase customer satisfaction ratings by providing faster, more custom resolutions to each issue that your customers may face, all the way to also make your employees happy and providing them with the right tools to reply to tickets. So you'll see an increase on your customer satisfaction ratings, which at the same time increases the retention of your customers. It's about making your current customers happy so that you can at the same time scale, reach out for more customers, but retain what you already have. Everything while at the same time decreasing costs, since we are not expanding headcount or making anything too complex. We are adding AI to every step of the way so that you can really make the most out of your Zendesk instance. So now that is the end of the presentation, and thank you so much, Thomas, for the demo. We're going to start reviewing your question and answering some of them. So I see there's a couple of questions on the chat. Most of them are from an anonymous attendee, but I'm going to answer William's questions first. So he asked, my team receives a lot of specific technical questions every day. How can this be empowered with our documentation of this problem? That is a great question. So as we saw during the demo and also during the slides, the first step of just enabling and creating an AI agent able to solve at least 30% of your questions is based entirely of your knowledge base. So if you have resources and we can make use of the documentation that you mentioned, if you have that inside of Zendesk, right off the bat, we can just enable the AI to retrieve information from there, understand what the customer is asking for, and reply to those specific technical questions. If it's more robust, more complex a situation, then we can scale, integrate with different third-party vendors, and make sure that everything in your tech stack is being utilized to reply to any technical question. So to summarize, we're using the documentation, we're using your tech stack, and if you're using any cross-functional teams, maybe engineering that is using Jira, we can connect to them. So there's a lot of things that we can do to help you solve your problems, even if it's a very specific technical issue. Another attendee asked, how complex is the implementation? Would we need technical expertise on our end, or can it be managed by our existing team? That is a very good question. That is why I invited Witbor. So I'm going to let Thomas reply to that question.
Yeah, so to implement the tool, it's not that complex. Anyone can do it. We do have some certain criteria, so to speak, that we need to meet in regards of you need to know the most common issue that you're facing, and if it's going to involve any APIs or extra systems that we're going to need to use. So those are the most complex or difficult things that might come when it comes to implementation, learning exactly what the issue is and getting to solve that issue, and then connecting to those other systems if there is a need for it. If there's no need for it, we can just create the use cases based on your current situations and your articles, and we can automate and solve most of the questions that your users might have.
Great. Awesome, Thomas. Thank you. I see another question. We are a relatively small team where we deal with a high volume of support requests. Would this type of AI solution still be a good fit for us? That is a very good question, and the main goal of this webinar. It is to show you that even though our solutions are enterprise grade, these are very applicable for smaller businesses. So like we discussed all over the slides, it's even though if you have a small team, there's no need to grow it anymore. You can keep the same headcount that you currently have, but provide them with all of the tools they need, enhancing the AI tech stack that you have, and really leveraging everything to reply to any type of situation. So even with a smaller team, this is a great use case for you to make the most out of your Zendesk account.
So
I see a question from Katie. Yes, this recording will be available. I'm going to follow up this conversation. I'm going to send individual emails to any one of you to answer any questions that you may have.
we have a question from Elizabeth. So how can we best train and optimize the agent to reflect our brand's tone, mission, and wellness expertise, especially when answering customer questions that involve health, safety, or sensitive topics like pregnancy? So Elizabeth, that's a great question. One thing that we didn't get to showcase with our Agentic AI is that you can customize the tonality of the bot to meet exactly your needs very quickly even. since we are already here, I believe we can show you. So if we go to our personalization tab, we can give it a name, company, what it represents, and if we go to tone, unlike other bots where you have only professional, informal, or maybe enthusiastic, here you can customize your answers. So in this case, for the example we have, I speak warmth, clarity, friendly tone, approachable, and easy to understand. So that's how you can customize for maybe some more sensitive topics or other types of questions, and the length of those answers. If it's gonna be short types of answers, long or very long types of answers. I hope that answers the question.
Thanks, Thomas. We have a couple more questions. To clarify, can it look up order status in Shopify? How would Shopify be connected? That is an awesome question. And yes, either solution, either it's Copilot or advanced AI agents, can do it for you. So it's connected through APIs. We have a native integration with Shopify. It's actually one of our most downloaded ones. So the process is not, it's not very complex because the connection is already out there. We just need to, for the AI agent, let them know that they need to require information from Shopify, and through APIs, we're going to collect that information and reply to the customer. Same thing with Copilot. Um, Another question. I'd like to follow up on the training of the AI bot. Is the only way to train on Copilot under the instruction tab? Thomas, I'm going to let you answer that.
Yeah, so Copilot is trained under, when it comes to the answers that it generates, it's either by the procedures that we showcase. It can also use your articles. If you already have articles that really answer to the nature of the ticket that the customer is asking about, it will use the information in those articles to generate those replies. The procedures aren't exactly mandatory, but they are a better way to answer those types of questions. But it will use an overall of those two, plus the macros that you already have in your instance. So it will leverage the information in those as well. It does have some training from tickets. I see that you that someone was asking about that as well. So we Copilot, we can see the satisfaction of the customer if the satisfaction of that ticket was good or bad, and use that as leverage for learning or for how to answer, mainly when it comes to the articles and the macros. So if the ticket is up with a good CSAT, it knows that those are the macros and articles to use when answering said questions.
Great. Thanks, Thomas. I see a different question that is related to the pricing structure. So is this available with with our existing plan, or do we need to upgrade to a different plan? So both products that we showed today are add-ons. So with your based suite plans, in any suite plan, whether it's Suite Team or Suite Enterprise, you can purchase advanced AI agents. So that is available across all suite plans, but Copilot for the level of complexity on how it's going to use your macros and your knowledge base to provide answers and to recommend agents how to address any question that require a minimum of being in Suite Professional so that we can really make the most out of everything that is included on Copilot. Does Copilot AI also helps with Zendesk reporting? Yes. So Copilot has its own separate reporting tab where you will be able to see everything that how efficient this AI is in terms of resolution rates, how fast are you replying to those tickets, and every ticket where this Copilot was involved, you will be able to report on that as well. So we have 3 minutes left. I see a couple of questions remaining on the chat. Are there any customer success cases you can share regarding small businesses applying this? Of course, we have tons of them. So depending on the industry, I'm happy to share those via email so that you can take a look at it and see how efficient it was for decreasing resolution time and increasing CSATs. So since we have 2 minutes remaining, Thomas, I think that we can go over to the next slide. So first of all, I want to say thank you for being here, for your thoughtful questions. Those were super helpful to continue the conversation and demonstrated that we did a good job explaining everything that we showed today. So I want to thank you all for being here. Also, thanks Thomas for providing the demo. These are our emails. So just feel free to contact us if you have any questions or if there's anything else that you would like to learn from. We are happy for it. Again, my name is Ivan. I'm an account executive at Zendesk, and I'm here with Thomas from Witbor. And of course, just don't worry if you cannot write our emails down right now. I'm going to send a follow-up email to all of you in a one-to-one basis so that I can address any questions or concerns.